So after purchasing the materials, we need to store that one at a particular place so that it should be easily available to the construction site. So here, after arrival of the materials to the construction site, so we need to separate them out and we need to place that one at the required location such that it should maintain the same quality whichever it is required for the construction process. And after the store keeping, the inventory control department will be there. So in this inventory control, the duties of the inventory control department, that is to decide about the types of the ordering system, fixing the safety stock limits, fixing up the record level and maximum and minimum stock level. So in this inventory control, we'll come to know that how much quantity of the materials are present in the storing area and which type of the materials are there, how much materials will come and store and how much materials will be using in the construction site. So each and every details, it will be there, details will be there in the inventory control. And next one is receiving, inspection and dispatching. So before receiving any materials, so for every set of the materials, they will conduct certain tests whichever they required. I mean, as per the Indian Standard Code Book, certain tests will be there. So that test they are going to conduct for those materials, and then if the results are in a permissible limits, then they will select those materials for the construction. So in this inspection and dispatching department, the responsibility of receiving, inspection and dispatching department, that is to receive the materials when it is delivered by the suppliers. After receiving it, the quantity and quality must be checked. So quantity and quality, so that is depends upon the the quality can be achieved by conducting several tests, and quantity can be achieved by taking them certain measurements with respect to the truckloads or whatever the area they are going to store there. And the production parts and materials are checked against the blueprints and specifications. And production parts in the sense, so these are the different unit wise materials will be there. So they are going to check the total numbers or quantity, how much they have ordered, whether the same number has been received or not. Everything they are going to check in the inspection part. So no production items are also reviewed. So here non-production items in the sense, so which are not useful for the production purpose but they are mandatory in the construction site. So even they are going to go through those proper view with that. And when once it is as per the specification given, the goods will be accepted. So it should satisfy all the conditions, such as it should satisfy the specification, it should satisfy the quality, it should satisfy the quantity and other aspects. So then only that material can be accepted in the material management. So in the value analysis and standardization, the value analysis and standardization after the greater scope in reducing the material cost. So usually this, by adopting this value analysis concept, so we can reduce the materials cost, and also it reduces the number of varieties and also helps in finding the substitute for the materials at the lesser cost. So by using this, we can minimize the total expenditure what we are keeping on materials. And next, the materials handling and traffic variety. So in this, a logistic is a concept that stresses the movement of the materials from one place to another place, and here the movement of materials, and it involves the planning, implementing and controlling the movement and storage of all the things from the raw materials to the finished goods. During the construction project, the routing of the materials will affect the cost and time to complete the construction projects. So disposal of scrap and surplus and even the material preservation. So usually the stock control can categorize as a technique plan to be the cover and to ensure all the materials or equipment are available whenever it is needed. Stock control, which includes the raw material processed material, assembly components, consumable stores, general stores, maintenance materials and spares, and work in progress and finished products. So it is very important as the construction materials were delivery as requested and the progression and with the progression by the proper management of stock control. So at the same time, the construction activities will generate a big amount of waste and it will cause difficulty to the construction industry. So however, with the planning of the material management, which is effective with the help of to reduce the waste of material and increase the profit of the companies. And these are the few general points which are which have to be remembered whenever we go for the purchasing the material. So it should be with the proper specification, and we should invite the different quotations from various reputed firms and companies of offers based on basic price, insurance and taxes, and quality of the material and payment discounts. And we should take care about the payment terms and conditions, and we should check the delivery period and guarantee of the materials, vendor reputation, shortlisting for better negotiation terms, seek order acknowledgement. So here these are the few points which we need to remember while purchasing any materials. So first one is the proper specification. So here these specifications are set by the Indian standard code books. For example, in the construction industry, the various materials has been used. So you can take one example such as the aggregates. So aggregates are having certain specifications. You have conducted so many tests in the concrete laboratory. So you have based upon that test, you will come to know the different specifications of those materials. For example, as per the property of the aggregate, might be it is with the toughness property, and might be it is with the abrasion property, and might be it is with the shape and size. So certain results you have got in the lab test. So for certain works, so certain specifications has been fixed by the Indian standard code books. So as per that, those materials should be followed, all those results. So before purchasing any materials, we should invite the quotations from various reputed firms. So in that quotations, it will be with the rate as well as the different specifications, particularly for those works. Right? So if you are constructing the road work, so that aggregates should carry the more load, which is governed by the various vehicles, right? So that toughness property as well as that hardness property of the material, it should be good. So by considering that particular work, they are going to give the quotation. So we need to take all the quotations and we should select the best quotation in that, such that that material it should be easily available with the less cost and at the earliest time. And the next point, that is companies of offers based upon the base price, insurance and taxes. So we need to compare these all quotations given by the various firms, that is based upon the basic price. So usually in the part of the quotation, so they are going to provide the basic price at that particular time. So might be it will get vary with respect to the time and the availability of the materials. For example, you can take sand. So nowadays this getting about the sand, that in the river sand, it is most difficult task. So if that work has been started few years back, that rate will be differs, and that the same rate we can't expect at the present time. So that basic price we need to refer, and then we need to decide about the selecting up of the materials. And quantity and payment discounts. So here we should give the quotation, we should give the total estimated quantity of the materials. The same thing, whether that particular vendor is about to supply or not. So we should check whether he is capable to supply that much quantity of the materials or not. So before selecting the materials, we need to go with that deal such that you should give the given quantity of the materials. And in the payment discounts, usually in the civil engineering works, we'll get the whatever the money is about to sanction, so that money part will be getting difficult in getting from the top management and all. So that time, in some cases, we need to deal with that discount, with the vendors, such that he should give certain discounts so that we can minimize with respect to the money also there. And next one is the payment terms. So here we should check the payment terms and conditions. Few companies who have given for the less cost of the quotations, so might be they can ask the money on spot itself. It's like what the cash and delivery, so that word it will be more suitable here. So they will give the amount, they will give the materials, and the contractor should pay the money for them. So it's like what the take and give option. So in some companies are there, first we need to give the money for them, and after certain durations they will supply the material. So certain terms and conditions will be there. So before selecting any materials, we should check with those points. And the delivery period and guarantee. So here delivery period, it's like what after selecting the best quotation, from various reputed companies, we'll check at what time they are going to supply or deliver the materials. The total durations, how much they require, we need to check that. And next, the shortlisting for better negotiation terms. So first here might be the cost will be more in some cases, the material cost, and in some cases that material quality may get vary. So if a vendor is supplying materials for lesser cost, we need to check with the quality first. So in this case, if material is not achieving the better quality for the lesser cost, so with respect to the cost and quality, we should give the more preference to the quality here, right? So if the materials are not maintaining the proper quality, if the cost of the material may get increased, but we should achieve the better quality of the materials. So these are the few points we need to remember in this purchasing part. Thank you.